Greetings. My name is Ghazi Muhammad, and I just want to give a testimony, a very brief but impactful testimony of how these services with this protection plan has absolutely changed the trajectory of my life, my family life, my friends. Absolutely game-changing opportunity for me and my family. So look, I was introduced to these services just a little bit over 2 years ago. And prior to come to these services, I come from a reality and a background that knew absolutely nothing about credit, absolutely nothing about financial literacy. You see, I was born to a teenage mother in St. Louis. At the age of 16, she had my twin brother and I. She had already had my sister at 14. By the age of 20, she had 5 children, had been married twice. So needless to say, my mother had to drop out of school. And so she didn't have a lot of formal education, but she had a PhD in streetology. The woman knew how to hustle. She knew how to make money in them streets. And I gravitated toward that. I had that hustle. I got that example of being a hustler and a grinder. I got that from my mother, right? But I didn't grow up knowing nothing about credit, knowing anything about financial literacy. I just knew how to go get money. When I got it, I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to leverage it. I didn't know how to make it work for me. I didn't know how to grow. I just knew how to go get money constantly. Go get money and be a consumer. Go get money and be a consumer. Get money, buy things. Get money, buy things. But when I came to these services a few years ago, I was at that point in my life. I was growing. I was maturing as a man. And I wanted to do something different. And I heard about the opportunity to improve your credit. I'm like, man, you know, what's all the talk about credit? And I remember going to the meeting. I'm listening to the service. I'm listening to the program. I'm like, man, I really need this in my life right here. At that time, my credit score was a shameful 431. Shameful 431. I'm talking about that. That was the kind of credit score that if you go into a reputable car dealership, either they're going to laugh at you or call the police on you. But you better get off this lot. You better not come on this lot with no 431 credit score. And that was me. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how low credit, how low it went or how high it went. I didn't know what the 431 meant. My credit score was a 431. Shameful. And I'm telling you, listen, in under 2 years, my credit score went from a 431 using these services, from a 431 to now a 760 in under 2 years. And some of the greatest tools that helped me out in these services was the debt elimination plan. I was riddled in debt. I was drowning in debt, student loan debt. I even had, when I came to the company, I even had a payday loan. I had a payday loan, and you know them the loans with the highest interest rates. You talking about exploiting the poor. Them loans have the absolute highest interest rates on they. I mean, you're finna get robbed with them payday loans. I traded in my title and they gave me some money, and I paid that loan back at least 10, 15 times, right? Because of high interest rates. Now on that vehicle right there, I didn't know prior to coming to this company, I financed a vehicle with poor credit. And I remember going to the car dealership. I wanted this truck. It was a nice truck, navy blue, tinted windows, some nice wheels on it. I wanted this pickup truck for work. I love pickup trucks, right? I go to the car dealership. I go there, and the man tell me, he say, well, if you want this truck, he ran my credit. So I'm thinking like, oh, I don't know if it's good or bad. I had never seen my credit report. He said, okay, well, in order to get this truck, we're going to need $3,000 down. It was a used truck. Truck was number $11,000. I said, okay, $3,000. Okay. So I said, give me a day. I go and gather the money, give my bank account, take all my other funds, and even borrow some money from some people so I can come with $3,000. I take it back to the car dealership. And I was still a little skeptical. And the man looked at me and said, okay, what's the problem? I said, well, how much is my car note going to be? How much my monthly payment gonna be? This is all I was concerned about. I wasn't concerned about the interest rates, how long the payment was, because I was financially illiterate. I didn't know that the interest rates were so important, right? And I wasn't concerned about it. I didn't read the fine print. All I did was sign. I wanted to sign and hurry up and get up out of it before he changed his mind, before he said your credit was too bad. So I wanted to sign, give him that money, and get up out of that. But my skepticism was, can I afford this monthly note, right? So he said, how much do you want your monthly note to be? Your monthly payment. I told him a price. And the man looked at me, sat across his desk. He said, well, that's what it is. I say, whoa. I say, man, I'm thinking like I'm winning. You gonna let me choose my car note? It's a win-win. Then I know I'm winning. I'm gonna drive off this truck and I chose my car note. No, what I didn't know was that he was gonna charge me the highest possible interest rate, and he was gonna stretch that thing out an extra year and a half. I didn't know that, right? So I ended up paying for the truck, paying the truck off. I didn't even know how long I paid for the truck. I don't even know how much I was paying for the truck or none of that. But when I came to these services and I began to become more financially literate and learning the value of interest rates in relationship to credit, I went back and I dug up my paperwork for that truck. because I wanted to see now. Now I'm understanding this interest rate a little bit better. I wanted to see, well, how much interest did I pay on this truck? Because I hadn't financed too many things in my life. That's one of the things I ever financed and paid off. I go back and dug up the paperwork. Did you know I paid an additional $12,300 for an $11,000 truck? Listen, y'all, I paid for that truck twice because of high interest rates, twice because of poor credit, because of financial illiteracy, because I just didn't know. I just didn't understand how valuable credit was. I paid for the truck twice. And when I seen that, I got to thinking to myself, man, look at all the friends and the family members that you know that go to these buy here, pay here car lots. And they put their large lump sum down. I know many people take their income tax check, the whole income tax check, to go and finance a vehicle. Put $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 down on the vehicle with the highest interest rate and finna pay for that truck twice. I had no idea. So when I seen that, it developed in me a compassion and a commitment to really share these services with as many people as I possibly can. And these services have been so valuable to me and my family. I have all of my adult children on these services. Many of my nieces and nephews on these services, my cousins, my uncles, my aunties on these services, because now I'm like an evangelist, a credit evangelist. Like, man, we got to win. We can't continue to have high interest rates and be all our money going out, because over the years I'm thinking, and listen, that was $12,000 I paid extra for that truck. And over the years I was paying for that truck, when my children say, Daddy, can we do this? Daddy, Daddy ain't got no money. I'm living check to check. I don't have money to do that. And I'm thinking now, what could I have done with that $12,000 for my children? What kind of business could I have invested in? How much fun, traveling I could have done with my children over that period of time I was paying for that truck. When I'm telling my children I didn't have the money, I had the money, but the money was leaving, paying high interest rates because of poor credit. And when I found that out, when I seen that, a light bulb went off in my head and said, oh, no, you got to correct this thing right here. So I began to use these tools, and I began to get up out of debt. I began to pay down my credit card debt. I began to throw everything I could at debt to pay it down. And to this day, right now, my wife and I, we're completely debt-free. We live a debt-free life. We paid off all our debts using these tools, the debt elimination tool. We paid off all of our debt, and I absolutely love the program. And I didn't know the value of being debt-free. I used to think that my stress was normal. I thought how I felt, I'm always agitated, always angry. It's because I didn't have enough money to deal with my reality. I had children, I had bills and responsibilities. Wasn't enough money coming in to deal with that reality, so it produced in me stress. I thought that stress was normal. I thought everybody lived up under that stress. I did not know that I can shift my thinking a little bit. I can grow. I can become financially literate. I can take control of my credit. I didn't know that I could have a credit card. Do you know when I was growing up, I thought that if you had a credit card, that you was rich. If you pulled out a MasterCard or a Visa when I was growing up, I just knew in my little mind, they must be rich, because everybody around me had food stamps. Everybody was spending food stamps. If you old enough to know what I mean by the book of food stamps, the green one, the brown one, the purple one, I remember them growing up. Everybody had food stamps. I didn't know anyone that had credit. So if you had a credit card, I thought you was rich. I didn't know that everybody can have that until I came to this company. It took me 40-some years to understand the value of credit and how to leverage credit and grow credit and use credit to your advantage. Listen, these services are absolutely phenomenal. They are absolutely game-changing. When I found out that I can have a will, trust, and power of attorney, I didn't even know what a will, trust, power of attorney was. I didn't think that was for people like me. I didn't think that was for people who didn't have a lot of money. I didn't think that was for me. When I found out that I can have a will, trust, power of attorney, and the relevancy of it, and to show you how relevant it is, I used to think that you had to have money to have them, those type of things. Again, misconceptions. Until a friend of mine, mother passed away, who had a small insurance policy. And because she didn't have the will, trust, power of attorney in place, she had a small policy. He and his siblings began to fight over that small policy. They began to fight so much that to this day, their relationship is estranged. Him and his brother do not talk to this day. They had to go to court. It got bitter. It got ugly because she didn't tell the court. She didn't set in place the mechanism to say where the money went to, who got what. They fought over the house. They fought over the car. They fought over that small insurance policy, and it destroyed their relationship. And when I seen, I say, man, we got to take control. We got to do better. And these services offer us the opportunity to do better, not only personally, but to do better for our family. So listen, if you're thinking about joining these services, you're thinking about coming to this program. I'm telling you, don't think long and hard, just do it. It's an absolute game changer. I am so grateful for those who started this company. I am so grateful for those who invited me to this program, to these services. I am eternally grateful and indebted to you. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.